An absolutely action-packed 2 weeks that we've had, Lethal. Biggest storyline for me, Rafa drops a map.
Yeah, unheard of. I don't think we expected anyone but Zenaku to take a map of him, but Zenaku has been playing really well ever since stage one finals when he won that best of five against Sib. He seems to be on a tear. He's on that momentum swing, and he's still showing that high level of consistency ever since then.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing of note, Nosfa actually overchained 2-1. I believe that was week one. That's a pretty big performance for Nosfa. But let's take a look at what we got going today. Start breaking down some of these games, see what's ahead. It's going to be a long day. Sundays are for Quake. We're starting off with Spart1e versus RAISY, a banger right out of the gate, Lethal.
Yeah, nice tasty match to start us off with. Should be an absolute banger. Dewey versus Maxter, the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of playstyles. That should be another good one. Zanaku, like we mentioned earlier, we'll see if he'll show and continue that consistency we mentioned just now against Effortless. And again, we'll see Rafa versus Nosfa. Rafa's looked a little bit weaker than usual, maybe because he's just trying to de-rusk it into the stage. So see if Nosfa can make any dent into that armor. But CNZ versus Cooler, the Hangers of Drama, should be a great day as always.
Yeah, I mean, shouts to Garpy making it back into the Quake Pro League. Rough road, though, first 2 weeks. He went up against RAISY and then Base and now Kilson. The EU side of everything a little bit stronger than NA, I'll admit that, but rough road for Garpy. Hopefully he can put some points on the board, but it's going to be a tall order. But a great set of games, but it all starts with Spart1e versus RAISY. RAISY on a tear, as we've seen. I mean, that immaculate performance at the stage finals. Just coming up short, but he pushed everyone to their limits, especially Rafa, and it was incredible and no signs of stopping. He looks really, really good. I don't know what Spart1e has to do. He has to pull something out of the hat to try and stop him, but can he? I have no idea.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. We know Spart1e has improved dramatically over the last couple of months, but it's like you said, is it enough? That's going to be the next big question. RAISY hasn't really shown any low level of play, like, none have shown those inconsistencies from what we've seen. We've seen it a few times in the past where we'll have a good stage final, then when he comes back, he looks a little bit weaker than usual, and it takes him a little bit of time to kind of adjust, reset again. But we've seen none of that. It's all just all gas, no break.
Yeah, absolutely absurd. I like to lurk in a lot of the pros streams, and everyone has been saying that RAISY is just playing peak performance RAISY, and that's so terrifying to run into. But we'll see. I mean, maybe Spart1e has some tricks up his sleeve. Maybe that railgun can send him to the promised land, but I have a feeling this one is going to be an uphill battle for old Spart1e here. We should be getting into the pick bands shortly, but just, based on names, based on performances in the past, Lethal, how do you feel about it as the pick bands come up? And look at that, RAISY on the clutch, game over, call it. Wow.
Calling it already.
No.
Yeah, the clutch on the ruins. Yeah, it's going to be a tall order, like you mentioned earlier. It's going to be interesting to say the least. He also has to kill on Deep Embrace, which again is going to make life just that little bit hard for Spart1e. And then Molten falls at the end with the Nyx versus the Galena. It's going to be very difficult for Spart1e. With RAISY, like you said, he's still hitting that peak performance, still showing the high level of play, which you all know and love. And I feel like with RAISY, ever since the stage one finals, he tasted victory. He was so close on that final map of Deep Embrace. And I feel like now he just knows that if he just gets that little bit better, just improve just those slight margins, those some minor mistakes here and there, he can definitely do it, which is why he's been on a massive grind and a tear at the start of the stage.
They're just so close, and all through the lower bracket too. I will never shut up about RAISY's performance and how absolutely absurd it was to push through the lower bracket, play so many extra games, and push Rafa to the 7th map, just coming up short, as you mentioned. That's going to be in the back of his brain, but he is looking to redeem himself. He wants to get back to the stage finals. He wants to prove himself, and it starts week in, week out with wins, and he's stacking them up oh so high right now. Spart1e might be another one of his victims. I don't know. Predictions? Do we even need to say anything, Lethal?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that RAISY should take this one at least 2-1, 3-0. If Spart1e takes a map, it may be the last one because Molten Falls can be a little bit of a coin flip depending on the scenario of the game and what exactly happens. But from what we've seen those first two picks, Clutch on Ruins, and of course we saw the kill on Deep Embrace, it's very hard to even say that Spart1e, he's got a small chance, but it's looking a bit bleak for him.
Yeah, I think if Spart1e does pull it out, it would be a bigger surprise than if RAISY puts him away. But any given Sunday, this is what they play for. So excited to get into it. Chat, make some noise if you can. See, block in your vote. Let me know what you think. Let Lethal know what you think. But I would say RAISY might take this comfortably, especially starting off with that clutch. We've seen him do terrible things to people with that clutch. It's offensive almost.
It's awful, isn't it? It should be illegal at this point. He's so good with the clutch, and a lot of people have said that with the clutch, yes, you're fair enough. It's one of those champions where he's got a large hitbox. The shield can be, using that shield at the correct time in those certain engagements. It's very difficult. Spart1e needs to make sure to try and bait out the shield if he can, and then at least that way he can do something afterwards. There's going to be a lot of plays which Spart1e needs to make, but needs to be very careful with the decisions he wants to make in order to try and execute any game plan against Spart1e. We haven't seen him use clutch that much on Ruins. Normally see it on Awoken or maybe one of the other maps, but Ruins, it's a rare choice for him. But any chance that RAISY's going to use clutch, of course, yeah, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, just super comfortable on that champion, probably the best in the world. Spart1e, he's got to use that distance on Ruins, try and just keep away, rail as best he can, try and get down that shield like you said. But it could be curtains. One mistake, one miss rail, clutch is just going to be on him, shotgun, rockets, it's going to be a nightmare. But it's going to be a fun nightmare because we get to watch it the whole time, Lethal. So I think we heard the ding in the background. I think this is going to be it. We're going to get into the game shortly. Chat, I hope you're ready. Sundays are for Quake, and this is the best way to start it off. RAISY on a clutch. Spart1e has to fend off that Astrovan. It's going to be a tall order on map number 1 on Ruins, but I think it's going to be a great start to a great day.
Certainly will indeed. Even with the Strog as well, like that's where I was talking about, baiting out his shield and try and get away in any, kind of like shape or form. But even with the clutch, it's, maybe easy to use but difficult to master. It's just one of those champions, which is why you don't really see many players use clutch in that kind of environment.
Yeah, I mean, the key to all of this could be just a peeker in the gas tank. Who knows? Who knows what Spart1e has in store? That might be the play. I think there's slight delays in the game. Chat, calm down. I see everyone flaring up. Patience. Patience. How dare you? But yeah, so just to recap a little bit, if RAISY goes 3-0, you wouldn't be too surprised. But Spart1e, if he goes 2-1, I mean, that would be pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Even if he gets maybe a map, I mean, I feel like I'm just dumping on Spart1e right now, and I don't mean to. It's just RAISY is playing at such a high level already, and somehow I believe, lurking in his streams, he's kind of said, and other players have said, he's actually kind of playing less, maybe VOD reviewing more, maybe focusing more on tactics outside of the game, but he's just getting better somehow by putting in less actual playtime. So be it studying the VOD, studying other players, like he is reaching a level which is very scary for everybody in the Quake Pro League.
Yeah, if it was like the Spart1e from 3 to 6 months ago, I think I would have said, yeah, it's 3-0 without a doubt. But, the Spart1e over the last couple of months, you can definitely take a map without a doubt. If people say otherwise, then it depends on the situation, like I mentioned earlier. Like, I still feel that it's only going to be the final map of Molten Falls where he has a much better chance to try and force out what he wants to do in terms of his game plan against RAISY. But, the way RAISY's been looking, he hasn't even took the gone off the break at any time. Like, some players may take a little bit of a break and then they'll grind a little bit, but not as much until like it's a stage final. But RAISY's just been going off.
Yeah, there's no time to waste. He wants that belt. He almost tasted victory at the last stage finals. It's a long road back to the stage finals. We're only in week 3, but I think maybe RAISY's the one who wants to try and go undefeated in maps this time around. Who knows, Lethal? Who knows? Any given Sunday as we're going to get into it. Appreciate the patience from everyone in chat. This is officially the kickoff for stage 2, week 3, Spart1e versus RAISY on Ruins of Sarnath.
Yeah, this should be an absolute cracker as we do start off with Spart1e. You can see what his plans are as he has picked up Mega and just waiting to find out where Mega could be. Gets the first rail. Was thinking about flanking round. Has his sights on him. Misses that second and important rail there.
Has to try and stack damage as best he can. RAISY still has the shield. Peeker's still in the pocket for Spart1e. He's looking for a little bit more armor here out in the courtyard. Heavy's going to be up next, as is Mega, and it's just a matter of, are the players going to play their items? And it looks like they are. Synced up again. On this map specifically, you can kind of just hear everything. So I thought we were going to see a little game of chicken, as we've seen before, but players just want to secure their items. Now Through the telly goes Spart1e. He's just trying to find where this giant barn door is. Again, trying to chip away, get some rails off, maybe bait the shield out and just run away and then regroup for some sort of attack here. As RAISY just waiting down below on the heavy. Spart1e's going to make his way back to the mega. And a rather slow start here, Lethal.
Yeah, both these players will not be fighting for the hourglasses as much. So literally could be anywhere on the map waiting for the opponent to make that first mistake. But Spart1e just trying to delay the mega as much as possible. But RAISY's doing the exact same thing. Of course, they can both hear the items being picked up, but are just playing very, very patiently. I think both players are hoping that one of the players will actually make the flank or go for a little crawl. But yeah, they both know it's like, yeah, when are you going to pick up the heavy? No, when are you going to pick up the mega? But look at the delay on this. It doesn't really matter how delayed it is, but RAISY's basically saying to him, no, you can pick up the mega first. But no, he's being too kind here. How long do you reckon it's going to take until one of you? Who do you reckon is going to take the item first here for you?
Looks like Spart1e, but that was absolutely amazing. I don't know if chat saw it, but they're actually talking to each other about who's going to pick up their item first. 4D chess here on the Quake Pro League as we're 2 minutes in and it's still a very, very slow game.
We know Spart1e's game plan. It's just a matter of how he's going to execute it. RAISY does have the high ground and height advantage, but not anymore as he decides to prioritize the heavy. And Spart1e has come around to do the exact same thing. Again, the item's still not segregated enough for these players to go for both. But it looks like RAISY's going to try and force out the first engagement. Some good damage there, but Spart1e's just trying to stay alive, but it's not going to be enough as RAISY finishes him off the LG and still got a decent stack to fight back against.
A little brutal there from Spart1e. Did not want that fight to go this way. I know it's only one frag, but it could spiral out of control so fast. A rail off the spawn, make that two. RAISY looking for the frag. The shotgun is not enough. Spart1e puts him down with a rail of his own. Ties it at one, and here comes the relentless onslaught off the spawn. The shotgun not landing enough. Spart1e will get out of town for the time being. Can he land a rail? And he takes the lead.
Oh, Spart1e was looking for that 3-3, but it doesn't matter. He managed to get that frag back. Spart1e is looking for those lights, but RAISY's going to find him first. Is this going to be the right moment for him to get some damage done? Some beautiful rocket there. Nice splash damage, but the rail straight afterwards. Great stuff from Spart1e at the start of this map.
Oh, Spart1e looking like a beast. There's the peeker and the gas tank. Is it going to be enough? The rocket is 23 HP. Spart1e somehow still staying alive and just tacking on all these frags. This is incredible. And RAISY puts him down. Caster's cursed.
Typical for me. Absolutely typical. RAISY stack.
Guilty.
It's fine, mate. I forgive you. It's all good. It's now RAISY. Very healthy stack. Waiting for Spart1e to try and bait him into the heavy. Second rocket did miss, but that was a great direct. And straight afterwards, another one from RAISY. As didn't really take too much damage there, so he can force out another engagement as he sees fit. And does have his ability in his back pocket. Still got a massive stack. He's going to decide if he wants to go for the telly or not. He has him trapped in the courtyard. But does he know he's there? It looks like Spart1e's hoping for the love of God that he doesn't approach him, but he's going to find him anyway. The shield comes out, but look at the LG and the rail straight afterwards as RAISY manages to tie things up in this first map.
Tied at 4 halfway through. Spart1e getting in the rail shots. Unfortunately, just launching the peeker a little bit too late. Line of sight is not going to help him here, especially in a corridor like that. Tries to get some rockets, but RAISY, the shotgun, comes out on top, takes the one frag lead.
But as you know, 40 being stuck in that courtyard. One of the worst places to be on this map, especially if you're on the back foot. As RAISY has already increased his lead. And look at this already. Spart1e just trying to get something done here as RAISY needs to give up that heavy. Waiting for Spart1e to go for that flank. But RAISY is not in a position to take this next fight.
Spart1e trying to add on the pressure. I like it. He's going to be able to get both items too. So RAISY is going to be a little bit weaker than usual. The shield's going to be down. This is a good attack from Spart1e. Good defensive rail from RAISY as he goes through the telly. Spart1e smells blood, or motor oil possibly, but he needs to be able to jump on RAISY quickly before the shield comes back up. He's going to cycle the heavy, make his way back to the Mega with plenty of time. The LG from above, RAISY making sure he doesn't rocket jump up, and the shield is back, and that might be bad news for Spart1e.
Spart1e still has this window of opportunity to try and make something happen. But Spart1e, at least with the Strog, he has the mobility to try and corner him off. This could be his opportunity now. RAISY only on 44 HP. Oh, the rail got him, but he's still only on 15. RAISY just trying to get away with his life. Decides not to go for those health bubbles in case he traps him underneath. So that's a good play from RAISY. Good decision making, but it could bite him here as Spart1e misses the first rail, misses the second. RAISY's just doing a good job here, just making sure keeps him on his toes. And he's still railable here, 40. He needs to be careful still.
Spart1e just needs to be a little more patient on that rail. RAISY's still extremely weak. Spart1e doing a good job of running the items, but he needs to be more aggressive. He does have plenty of time, so he doesn't need to overextend, but knowing that the shield is down should give him a little bit more confidence. But just like that, RAISY doing a good job cycling the vials and getting his shield back up.
Good Pika shot for him. RAISY now still realises that he's at a stack disadvantage, so it's up to him what decision he wants to make in terms of what route he wants to take to get away from Spart1e. So he decides to stay on the heavy jump pad for now. Knows that all the items have still been taken. He's hoping at some stage he'll give up one of them. Maybe if he gets a direct rocket or rail just to do some chip damage and then manage to grab it. That was exactly what he needed, but it still won't be enough. As Spart1e will pick up that heavy. It seems like Spart1e now is just on the hunt, is on the chase. Good rail there from Spart1e, but still only 2 minutes and 20 left on the clock. On a map like Ruins here, 40, he needs to get something done soon.
Missing with that rail, and this is what makes RAISY so dangerous. He could blow you out, or he can win by 2-1 frag. You know, he's really good at playing that defensive style, especially with the clutch it out of the park. Spart1e playing a little bit of baseball, and that's a grand slam if I've ever seen one, but he's still down a frag. He needs a little bit more to tie this up. Through the telly, shields out. Is the shotgun going to be enough? The LG melting RAISY, the peeker to finish? No! Handles it well. Still very weak. Spart1e is weak as well. Needs to be careful. There's the rail shot that misses around the corner. He's still railable. Needs to be super careful. There's an armor pickup as well. Spart1e wants this frag so bad. There's a rail. Can he find the follow-up damage? Great defensive rail from RAISY. And wow, the shotgun from RAISY takes him out.
That play was perfectly understandable. That was his one opportunity to tie things up 6-all. But now he's 2 frags behind once again. RAISY looking to play the same strategy on the heavy jump pad. But Spart1e does find him, but can he do anything? Highly unlikely, as he's taken so much damage from the super shotgun. And RAISY's still looking very healthy in terms of his stack. Managed to grab the hourglasses and should have at least one more shield to pop before he gets taken down. But I think it could be too little too late here, as he takes that first rail and evens up the stack. But Spart1e's going to try and make something happen anyway, but the pick's not going to make too much difference. Doesn't clean Spart1e up, but this is RAISY's opportunity now to try and get away from him. As Spart1e's on the chase, but it doesn't matter, as he managed to get a nice clean rail to increase his lead again.
So close. There's so many opportunities for Spart1e as he wants to get a little something machine gun up the jump pad. This game is so close here. Still some time, but RAISY's like, I got a gauntlet and a shield, and here we go. All right, I like that. I like that. Honorable from both players. RAISY comes out on top with the gauntlet shield combo. Looks like it might be 10-6, maybe 11-6 if RAISY wants to tack on another, but a fantastic first map from both players. Spart1e was so close. So close. Just missing out on a couple clutch rails that would have put him, you know, at tie, maybe even advantage by a frag. You hate to see it, but the form Spart1e's in, not too bad. I personally thought it was going to be a little more slanted of a victory for RAISY, but Spart1e's here to say, you know what, 40, you have no idea what you're talking about. So, well done, Spart1e, and that's a good start to the set.
It certainly is. You know, Spart1e, he did have the item control. He had a few items more from RAISY. He did 211 more damage. So he was doing all the right things. He had the map presence he needed, you know, to try and suffocate RAISY on spawn as well on numerous occasions. But he just couldn't really get round. You saw when he was ahead 4-1, he let a lot of major mistakes happen. He was, you know, hanging around too much on the courtyard. We know he was trying to recover but sometimes you've got to delay it a little bit more to make your opponent think that you've got the stack you need to execute some of these attacks. So it was a real shame, but in the end, RAISY did a great job just pulling it back when it was required.
Yeah, RAISY's just really good at playing hyper defensive when he needs to, making sure he's in control and taking the fights he likes. And then at the end, we saw where Spart1e was forced to chase. RAISY can post up with a shotgun and a shield and say, you know, I've been running a lot. You feel like I'm going to jump down this giant jump pad? Nah, here's a shotgun to the face. Welcome to the buffet. So he turns it around. RAISY on top for map number 1, but Spart1e with a good performance. A couple confirmed and you know, concise rails maybe would have changed it. He missed a couple near the jump pad and just that last one as well. Look at that, 12 HP. Stuff like that, especially on a clutch, is a little disheartening to see, but it's just one map. We still got 2 more. Spart1e can pull out, you know, a little bit of magic. Deep Embrace, though, against Akil, I don't know. Might be rough. Might be rough.
I think it will be. At least we had a little bit of banter towards the end, which we always love here for we. And as you can see from the scoreline and the stat line, it's good though. Spart1e's shown some strong signs that it can definitely still take this series. You know, with 211 more damage, the item control. This needs to make better use of it. That's all he needs to do. As you can see there, 19 items over the 13 with RAISY. Doing the right things at the right time, but just a little bit too over-aggressive on spawn. Like, you know, trying to go for those trade frags. But we'll have to see on this next map to see if it can make any difference to what he wants to do. But against a RAISY's clutch, it's still very good play.
Yeah, and I think the first couple peekers we saw from Spart1e weren't as tactical as they could have been. He wasn't really around the corner. It was kind of like a panic peeker where, you know, he's still sitting line of sight and RAISY can just, you know, absolutely decimate him. So maybe if those peekers off the bat were a little bit more tactical and just he was a little more defended around a wall or had a little more, you know, ability to kind of, okay, I'm going to pop the peeker and then I'm going to dive and, you know, hopefully I'll be able to get my LG or rockets up before you're around the corner. Maybe that could have spun it his way as well. But it's done and dusted, Lethal. Why are we living in the past? Let's go to Deep Embrace, see if Spart1e can show us a little magic with that rail. Again, I feel like against Akil, it's going to be pretty hard because RAISY's going to be serving up that citrus, but anything can happen any given Sunday. And chat, if you believe in Spart1e, now's the time to make some noise. RAISY is technically on set point here if he takes this one, but every map is money, and RAISY's looking to stack some paper. Spart1e versus RAISY map number 2 is live right now.
That's right. Against the kill, it's going to be very difficult, especially for Spart1e. If RAISY has that heavy control or gets there early, he can use those pineapples to his advantage. Depending on where Spart1e is going to go to contest the heavy, or even if he actually does attempt that. Good first rail from Spart1e. Good opening. Pineapples come in. Both that and the rocket managed to miss. Misses the second rail. Managed to hit the third anyway, so he's doing a nice chunk of damage. He does have a strong feeling that maybe it's not worth going for the heavy. He can still go for the mega still, but he's pretending to see if he can at least try and do some damage. Ooh. Good first rocket there, but it's just not enough as RAISY managed to take him down. And look how weak he was, 40, only on 18 HP.
That was just an all-in gamble from the party, and unfortunately, it was not lucrative. But a little bit of LG here as RAISY gets caught out near that armor shard. 87 just available here. RAISY, oh, up the jump pad. Spart1e with the LG, absolutely electrifying, tying it at 1 here. RAISY trying to rush. He does actually deny that rail. Wow, the nail damage, the fadeaway here from Spart1e, and this might be a bloodbath, Lethal. I feel like we're going to see the best kind of embrace, which is just non-stop fragging.
You know me, we love a bit of chaos and mayhem. Oh, and the orb didn't really do that much damage. He just basically just ported in, but he's only on 32 HP. So we'll have to see if Spart1e can try and cut off the choke point, which he has done. Great stuff there from Spart1e. He knew he had to go for that 50 at some point. Good first rocket. Only did 40, but it's enough to make RAISY pull away only slightly. But he's in a bad place at a bad time, pretending to rocket jump, but the second rocket didn't really do too much there as he finally gets taken down. He was obviously hoping to try and go for the telly from that with the speed, but it just wasn't to be, as RAISY now has backed away. He's looking to go for that heavy. Good rail, only on 38, but it should be enough for him to restabilize. Decides to drop down, gets another rail to upper mat and gets a second to clean up Spart1e. Good job from RAISY.
RAISY just chaining together these rails. 83%. Brutal. Spart1e hitting 50, not terrible. It's only 4-2, very early on here. RAISY looking to push the lead. Just getting more and more momentum. Spiraling out of control. There's another great rail. Spart1e just not landing these rails of his own, and RAISY making it look easy here. Finally missing when he wants to push in 3 HP, and Spart1e capitalizes, hitting a rail. So weak. U25 is through the murder hold there. Great direct rocket, almost getting the follow-up rail here. Ooh, cheeky peek right there. There's the Dire Orb, hits him with the Hadouken. 4-4, Spart1e very weak, but he should be able to secure this heavy after the armor shard. He's going to opt for the Mega instead. Probably the wise choice here as he goes up the jump pad. RAISY on the chase, and the heavy's still up. Wow, what a combo there from Spart1e, doing good damage. Can he get in on this? And he can, as he hits the rail as well. And this is curtains for RAISY. There's the shotgun blast. 5-4, and almost gets a rail off the spawn. Spart1e heating up.
Spart1e's been looking really good these last couple of frags. Almost gets that spawn rail on the shotgun spawn. Barely missed, but he's already done the damage he needs to do anyway. As already you can see RAISY's pushing straight in with that shotgun. Managed to clean up beautifully as he gets the Mega for his troubles. Definitely worth the engagement, and has seen that Spart1e now's got the rail and will be looking to contest the heavy, which he picks up. But RAISY still has the slightly larger stack, but hasn't got the weapons in his arsenal. Has the LG and the rail, but not the rockets as of yet. But he will be putting that in his priority list at some point. But it depends if Spart1e is defending it, which he was, but just a little bit too late. But good first rocket and a nice cleanup with the LG straight afterwards.
Yeah, RAISY fearless with these pushes here. Spart1e doing a decent job of dodging those pineapples, looking a little bit like Neo, but RAISY aggression pays off as he has the 1 frag lead, and we're not even halfway through. Spart1e trying to play silently from below here, and the drop from RAISY might be another frag here. To the murder hole, that's a lot of citrus to worry about. Spart1e with the panic rocket needs to get out of there. 10 HP, RAISY on the hunt, and the shotgun in the butt cheeks will do it.
RAISY now with a horrifying stack for Spart1e. Spart1e realises he's in a world of trouble, but that heavy is definitely going to give him some leadway. And luckily for him, RAISY did miss that first rail, but I don't think it's going to matter anyway. The rockets are looking good, the LG is looking even better, but he needs to back away. He hasn't got the stack to fight this. He realises that if he wants to try and take this next engagement, he needs to be very cautious on how he wants to play things out. Good flank, good rail as well to boot. And he's still got enough pineapples in his back pocket to try and contest this heavy, but it doesn't matter. He cleans him up with the rail anyway. He realises he's on the LG spawn, but Spart1e also realises that he's waiting for him on top mid. He's only on 48 HP, now on 24. He needs to back away. The heavy is up, but needs to find those health bubbles. Gets the first one, gets the second, and looks like he's looking okay again, as he's going to try and clean up Spart1e once more. Just trying to hide behind, but I don't think he expected to come out, but the pineapple did its duty anyway.
Wow, the fadeaway pineapple through the murder hole. Saves RAISY's lives, adds to the deficit here for Spart1e. 9-5. Spart1e needs a little bit something. He keeps going toe-to-toe, but the stacks aren't good enough for Spart1e. And ooh, RAISY trying to lay a trap. This could be very risky. Except there he is, popping out with a rail. More of that, Spart1e. Less than 4 minutes now, down by 4. Spart1e's trying to make his way up the stairs. 1 pineapple for his troubles, awaiting his ascension here. Is now RAISY playing from down below. Rail out, so you hear Spart1e just firing off those rockets, almost connecting with that one. RAISY trying to make his way to the heavy. Looks like he's going to be a little bit late. Concedes and tries to make his way to the Mega. He's going to be able to pick it up before getting fragged. That's huge to at least take it away from Spart1e, as Spart1e just claimed the heavy. Doesn't want to give the item control completely away. And now we might see RAISY start playing this defensive game that we saw earlier on Ruins here. Pineapple. Right on target, LG. There's the Dire Orb to try and get up close and personal, but RAISY just has all the answers. 10-5 now.
Looking very good for RAISY. Even though he's not picking up the heavy, he's timing the lights very well. He knows that the light bottom mid is only 3 or 4 seconds in front of the light armor top mid, so he's just doing a little rotation back and forth. And as you can see, he's doing it again. He knows this light's coming up very shortly, but is waiting to see where he could be. The next light will come up in the next few seconds. RAISY's going to try and see if he can make something happen in terms of contesting this next heavy. Misses the jump though. But you can see Spart1e knows exactly where he is. Good first rocket from both of these players. RAISY's decided to drop down. He's going to back away only for a little bit, as he's going to try and go for that light top mid, but I'm not sure if he will now, as Spart1e's on his case. He needs to make something happen. He's only got 2 minutes and 10 left on the clock to try and get these 5 frags back. He's 62 HP. Oh, that was beautiful from Spart1e. He heard the rocket jump happen, and he made the assumption he was going for that heavy, so that was good for it to play from Spart1e. But this is his moment. He needs to make something happen here, 40, or else it's done for, and it's 2-0 in the series.
Tries to start it off with a rail as RAISY grabs the 50 shard. You're absolutely right, especially chewing through a massive stack of Keel. It's going to be difficult. Time is of the essence here. Is tick-tock. Spart1e needs to make something happen. He does have the Dire Orb. There's the rocket jump up using that Ranger passive to get up close and personal. He's going to steal away the Mega. But I think RAISY is just more than content with playing the plus bad game at this point. Wants to secure the victory. Rockets from above. Not a lot of damage though. Spart1e needs to get in there. The problem is the pineapples and the stack. Can he knock him out of the map? Almost with that rail there. Tries to get a follow-up, and RAISY just taking maybe a preemptive victory lap here. Still 1:05 left. Spart1e only down 3, just needs to catch him out. But the damage, he needs to do so much damage. And RAISY, look at that, playing a little bit of Metal Gear Solid here. Just around the corner, doesn't want any fight. There's a little bit of LG tickle on his way out. Make that a lot here. Spart1e's gonna grab this heavy, and it looks like this might be it. RAISY in no way wants a piece of this unless Spart1e does that. And that's a layup for RAISY here. Spart1e, no choice, time is ticking, has to make a play, and that's where RAISY wants to fight. You come to me, and there's all this LG riding the lightning there. Down goes Spart1e again, and RAISY just plays it perfectly every time.
Yeah, Spart1e still had a chance if he managed to get that frag top mid. The only thing he needed to watch out for is if he's going to spawn rail, and if he did, which way was he going to go? And if he spawned that shotgun, just keep tabs on whether he's going to go mega or bottom mid. But it doesn't matter though. Look at the scoreline. 12 seconds left. 7 frags behind. Nothing he can do here, 40, as it's 2-0 in the series. But the scoreline didn't really explain exactly what happened in that series. Either player could have made something happen there, but Spart1e, sadly for him, got taken out just in the last few minutes as he was trying to make that comeback happen, but it just didn't happen. RAISY, with 634 more damage, showed a lot more map presence, and item control still in favour of Spart1e, just couldn't really do much with it.
I feel like the story for both maps was the scoreline isn't really indicative of how close the game was. It was 1 or 2 situations where Spart1e could have taken the lead or at least tied it. Especially on Deep Embrace, though, off the spawn, dealing with the Keel is just going to be so hard on a map that small, especially with all the damage and the pineapples that he does on the way out. So when he respawns, it's hard for Spart1e to keep up that aggression. But yeah, I mean, RAISY just plays it well every time. When he wants to play passive, he'll play super passive. He'll be a nuisance. You have to chase him, eating citrus, rockets, LG, just to get in line of sight of him. And that's what makes RAISY so great. If he wants to play hyper aggressive, hit every rail, hit every rocket, he can do that too. And it's just, yeah, RAISY looks unstoppable right now. Spart1e, he's getting in his licks. It's just not enough.
Well, that's the thing, you know, with RAISY, if he's on the back foot, he only needs to try and survive a couple deaths to the last minute. But that's the thing with the Kill, it's the fact that you can use those defensive rockets, the pineapples, just hide in a choke point. And even if you still get taken down, you've done so much damage, you can go for the trade frag, especially on a map like Deep Embrace. And Spart1e knew that. And that's what made it a little bit more of a nuisance for him, because there's nothing much he can do. Even if he does manage to take him down,
Clap back.
you could see he was revving for it. He knew he could have made that comeback even with a minute remaining. As long as he managed to predict the right spawns on the 50-50 rotation on wherever RAISY's going to go, then it could have been okay, it could have been fine. But there were some points on the map where RAISY wasn't even prioritising the heavy. He had the timing so well coordinated with the lights, going from bottom mid to top mid, spacing them out by only a few seconds. He didn't need to go for it. He was okay. He was satisfied going for the mega and the 2 lights. Let him go for the heavy, you know. But that's the thing with the Kill. You kind of want to go for the heavy anyway because of all the choke points you can use with the pineapples and the rockets depending on where you're standing. But he didn't seem to mind too much. He was just being a bit more unorthodox compared to his usual pace.
Yeah, and this is the map that you were speaking of that might be Spart1e's. We're going to go to Molten Falls next. Are you sticking with that prediction, Lethal? Do you think this is Spart1e's map? Do you think he could get, you know, 1-2 frag lead and just keep it and win this out? Or is RAISY going to go for the clean sweep and stack that cash?
I wouldn't be surprised if he's stat that cash, mate, in all fairness, the way he's been playing. 63% with the rail there, only 48 for Spart1e. Amount of damage which has been done has just been ridiculous. But then again, Spart1e has still had very good item control. It's just RAISY has just been doing a lot more damage, a lot more map presence for what he wants to do in terms of executing his game plan. And Spart1e couldn't really do much about it. But we know what it's like with Molten Falls. For some people, say you pick your poison with some of these maps, Molten Falls is normally one of them, and we see sometimes the better player actually end up on the back foot, but it depends who gets the first frag and gets the advantage at the start.
Yeah, I think the ability is there. Spart1e's showing that, you know, he can play, he can keep up with RAISY. It's just a couple of these opportunities that may be missed. Maybe it rail, rocket, off the spawn, not enough stack, and just gets refragged. But this could be the map. Spart1e fans in the chat, make some noise for Spart1e. It's not really a party right now. It's kind of a small gathering. He needs to step it up if he wants to try and take this map and steal away some of RAISY's money. But RAISY already takes the set 2-0. But again, every map is money. And money, I like money. I don't know about you, Lethal. Money's nice when you come across it. So I think RAISY's going to try and stack that. Spart1e's going to try and run through his pockets and take what he can on Molten Falls, but it's not going to be easy. RAISY's just looking too good right now.
Yeah, money's all right. It's all right. You know, you can't really complain with that. But that's the thing. Like with the EU region, you saw, you know, in terms of the cash and the point system, how close it was. Like, you know, one map was between each player from like 3rd to 8th. It was just ridiculous. So 3rd to 10th, ridiculous how close all these players are. So every map does count, maybe from getting top 4 to, you know, maybe even getting relegated at this moment in time. But we are going to start off with Spart1e to see if he can create any kind of party here, as he's not really having a party of his own from these first 2 maps. But let's see what we can do here. See if we can make some kind of comeback happen.
Right off on the bat, rail to the face here. Spart1e does get in on a rail of his own. Gets the totem back up rather quickly. The first one is already gone, and RAISY's going to have to keep that in mind as well, trying to get out those totems as best he can, make sure the overstack isn't available for Spart1e. And RAISY just kind of flew on by there and Ghostwalk and stole that Mega away. Now Spart1e has to play with this heavy. It's going to be dangerous, but that's a fantastic rocket. RAISY was not aware of anything and somehow just turns that around as the LG's so strong. Even though Spart1e got the drop on RAISY, RAISY put the beat on him, hit it with the Elmers, and takes that frag.
Yeah, that Ghostwalk was pretty funny to say the least, going for that Mega, but we understood his game plan. He was thinking, well, if Spart1e is hanging around the Mega area and he's literally sitting on the item this early in the game, then he can just get behind him with ease. But he wasn't there, so it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter anyway, as Spart1e, see you later, going straight off the map. Second frag goes to RAISY, and he's heard him. He's going to Ghost Walk behind him. Will he realise, oh, he's got the gauntlet out a bit early in the game, and still takes him out 40 as he gets his 3rd frag now, and it's only been 90 seconds as he gets the hourglasses and soon to be the Ghost Walk.
So not only did he not let him get rung out, he actually railed him on the way out and said, that's my frag. I'm going to take that. And then he hit him with the gauntlet, and that's the same as getting posterized in the NBA. Like, RAISY's just popping off right now. Puts the beat on him again. Fantastic air rocket from Spart1e, but it's not enough. And we're not even 2 minutes in, and it's 4-0, and RAISY's looking real strong. And this might be a statement map. I fear for Spart1e's life.
Yeah, I just can't believe the fact that he actually tried to get away with the gauntlet. It's still so early on in the match, and he was just like, do you know what, I'm just going to do it. I don't care. You know, he's going to try and entertain us, and he has done, but he's going to hit the jump pad from the Ghost Walk. He hasn't taken that bait, but will he get taken down anyway? Yes, he does, and the totem for his troubles. He's doing a good job to making sure he's keeping the totems in check, as Spart1e hasn't got any up at the moment, and it doesn't matter. RAISY, on a map like Molten Falls, to be up 6-0, it is heartbreaking here for you. It really, really is. And the fact that RAISY is going to consistently have that Ghost Walk, because the hourglasses for RAISY is a little bit more important compared to the totems of Spart1e, but it doesn't matter. Spart1e's just kind of running out of answers. He's only got, you know, 7 minutes 15 left to play with. And against, you know, a champion with Ghost Walk, it's going to be very difficult for him to make some kind of comeback.
Just sweet mother of God. If Spart1e's manager's in the chat, throw in the towel here as he's fighting back, and there it is. Spart1e gets 1 frag back as RAISY was getting a little bit too crazy there, trying to drop down and make something happen, as he's done time and time again. I mean, 7 frags this early is crazy. There's the Ghost Walk. He wants a little bit more. Rockets flying out from both players. There's the Totem planting his flag down, trying to get this frag. There's the denial on the armor, and Spart1e's coming to life. All you had to do was just question his ability to get back into this one, but no signs of stopping from Spart1e here.
RAISY's been very, very aggressive with this Ghost Walk. It's used to being quite passive. RAISY again taking him down. Oh, he's only on 2 HP. Again, another heartbreaking scenario which could have gone either way. But what can Spart1e do here? He's expected to make more passive plays with the Ghost Walk, but it seems to be not the case. And Spart1e just barely managed to clean him up. Gets the Mega for his troubles. Gets good first rail. Will RAISY get a second? He's just daring him to get that second rail, tickling him with the shotgun damage. But could actually still take him out here. But no, he doesn't. RAISY just teasing him and still doesn't take him down. But, you know, good try for Spy.
RAISY's a serial killer. Like, who does that? He's just staring down Spart1e, just watching. He's like Jigsaw right now, just wanting to play a game as he's raining down rockets. He won't even let him get the Mega. There he goes off the map again, and Spart1e's like, are you kidding me?
He's just playing with his food, isn't he, 40? He really, really is. I thought it was going to play out a slightly different way. But RAISY's just been so aggressive with his nicks. And then seeing him drop down. Good rocket to follow up from the LG damage. Good rail also. Only on 18 HP. Spart1e is nowhere near railable. But it's got to be careful of the totem underneath that telly. He's just going to play a bit calm now. It's got 7 frags in terms of his lead. 7 frag deficit as Spart1e needs to try and figure out a way of what he wants to do. But we know what it's like on Molten Falls. It's very, very difficult to come back from a stat line such as this. And playing against the Knicks as well, as soon as RAISY starts playing defensive or passive with that Ghost Walk, he's going to be in a world of trouble. He's just waiting for him to go straight through. Spart1e didn't expect that at all. He's waiting for him to come straight up. He hasn't got a stack advantage, but he's flying in the air from the LG and has now got an 8 frag lead. Spart1e with the Mega. Good first rocket. Hits the rail for his troubles, but needs to try and back away if he can. He is railable, needs to try and get away. Spart1e in a world of trouble, but it doesn't matter. RAISY's just waiting, daring for him to try and contest this heavy.
RAISY's just insane right now, hitting everything, popping off, shotgun, jumping over to claim his heavy, and this is peak RAISY. This is insane to watch. And if you missed the banter earlier, Spart1e, during that murderous stare down at the armor shard, Spart1e was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And RAISY just hit him with the serial killer smile. And RAISY is just adding on to the onslaught here. 12-3. Fantastic rail from Spart1e. He's going to need more than that, but just like that, the Ghost Walk is up, so RAISY can get out of dodge if he needs to, and yeah, this map spiraled out of control rather quickly, Lethal.
This is the thing, if you're teasing your opponent like you did earlier on the Mega Staircase, it's like, what can you do? It just makes you think, makes your opponent think, oh, like, you know, why do I bother sometimes, you know? It just gives you that kind of mindset, but he realizes that he's got his too many frags behind. 10 frags he needs in 3 minutes 15 with a slight stack disadvantage and no weapons in his arsenal. There's nothing he can do here. Good direct, knows he needs to back away. Good rail, but just isn't going to be enough. And if Spart1e wants to make something happen, needs to do it now, but let's be honest here, Fully, let's not beat around the bush. Can it happen? Highly unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think so. I do not think so. A bit of rocket damage here. And RAISY's not afraid to just take the fight to Spart1e. And there's a great rail there, 14-5. And yeah, it just spiraled out of control way too quickly. RAISY, when he feels that confident to pop off, you know, set in hand, it's curtains. Literally, he did that thing that boxers or fighters might do where he's like, you get one free punch. Stuck his chin out, and oh my god, Spart1e! No, in the meat grinder he goes as RAISY just catches him with a gauntlet. Spart1e trying to get that frag back with the rail as he's chasing now. RAISY standing his ground with the rail and pops him right out of the sky. Such patience from RAISY as this one is just dusted. This one's done.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, absolutely. There's nothing more Spart1e can do. He's taking out with his totems. He's got no potential for an overstack. literally just chasing him down anyway as he sees fit. He's going for another gauntlet. Will he be able to get it? He's chasing him. He's literally got him mouse, and he still takes him out here. Oh, RAISY.
It's a horror movie. It's a horror movie for Spart1e right now. But LG on LG, he's not going to give up, but he's going to eat that rail just as the Mega spawns. That is unfortunate. And yeah, RAISY, just RAISY things. Just RAISY things here. You see the smile on his face. He's having fun. That's what it's all about. And it's easy to have fun when you're up 12. Spart1e maybe not having as much fun, but nevertheless trying to fight from above here on this heavy. That's a good vertical rail. Maybe he can hit another one. Does. 15 HP. Can he hit the third in the Ghost Walk? Just in the nicks of time from RAISY there. He's just going to grab 225s and some more armor shards. But yeah, minute 10, 12 frags. I don't even care if you believe in miracles. This one's done. But just such unbelievable play from RAISY. I don't think there's anybody that does it as well as he does in terms of the pop-offs, the gauntlets, the confidence that he has. When he hits that level, when he's that comfortable to do that stuff, it's a bad way for whoever he's playing.
It really is. You know, most players with the Knicks, they normally use an aggressive Ghost Walk for any kind of item contestation. Normally at least around a few minutes mark, or maybe the second half of the game, but like RAISY just went straight in on the second item spawn. He didn't care. It was like after 30 seconds, he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go straight in. It doesn't matter. And as you can see, a Spart1e special vet, just to confirm that sadly, he has lost the series 3-0. But it was a good try. Like those first two maps were definitely eye-openers. We saw a few plays in which we thought Spart1e could take it, could have gone either way. The scoreline doesn't represent exactly what occurred during those maps, but it was just a bloodbath in this third and final map. We didn't expect it to spiral out of control so early on, but like I said earlier, with the aggressive Ghost Walks for the items, it was very difficult. I don't think Spart1e expected it, and then afterwards it just went through the roof. 1,700 more damage in comparison. Pretty much says it all here for you.
Yeah, it's a little tough to get out of your own head after that first gauntlet. You're like, all right, everybody saw that. That's fine. That's fine. Just the millions of people watching. It's okay. I'm still in this. Then he hits you with another gauntlet, and you're like, okay, everybody saw that one too. And then it's just, you look at the scoreboard, he's up 11. What do you do? I mean, how do you deal with that? RAISY just playing out of his mind, as we've seen time and time again. Look at that. He denied the ring out. He was like, nah, this is my frag. This is just a highlight reel. There it is. A little bit of the Ghost Walk into the gauntlet, and there's nowhere to run. It's a horror movie. And look at that. The giggle of a serial killer, Lethal, in the game is, yeah, absolutely fantastic performance from RAISY. The first two maps were a lot closer, but this third one was just a highlight reel of footage for RAISY.
The worst bit was the fact that he was trying to get a gauntlet kill. Like, he wasn't trying to get it on the last 30 seconds of the game after he's confirmed that he's won the map or won the series. He did it on the minute 20 mark. He didn't care. He was just like, do you know what? I'm that confident I can beat you. I'm just going to gauntlet you anyway. And the fact that he did it so early on is demoralizing for your opponent in terms of Spart1e, and I think it's demoralizing for anyone, like, especially when it happened 2 or 3 times. The fact that he was just landing on his head raise, he's like, okay, I like that. I'm kind of getting better at these gauntlet kills. He's impressing me more and more each time he gets them.
Yeah, and Spart1e's got to have just a thorn in his foot with the Maestro boys. I mean, week 1, he went against Wenger, lost 3-0. Now RAISY 3-0. It's a little brutal. A lot more gauntlets this time around, but as we take a look at the stats again, shouts to RAISY, 3-0 clean sweep of Spart1e in true RAISY fashion.
Yeah, 3% accuracy for the gauntlet. Can't complain, can we, 40? It's definitely a lot better than what we could do. And yeah, 58% with the rail. Again, his rail has just been absolutely absurd. He's been playing so well out of his mind, and you can see he was oozing confidence during that first couple of minutes. The way he was playing, like, Spart1e didn't expect it. It was a lot more unorthodox in comparison, and RAISY is the type of player where he is very aware of his surroundings and expects surprises more than the standard play of Quake. So it was very hard for Spart1e to even try and make something happen.
Yeah, well, we wanted a hell of a start to the day, and that's exactly what we got. RAISY 3-0 in true RAISY fashion. Gauntlets were out. Pride was hurt, I'm sure, but a lot more Quake action to go as we're going to head over to the NA shortly. But what can you say about that set that hasn't already been said? I mean, it's RAISY. He's playing out of his mind. He's playing the way he wants. When he's comfortable, he's in control, and that is terrifying for everybody in this league. But NA, when we get back, it's going to be Dewey, Maxter. Don't go anywhere. Grab a drink, maybe. But we'll be right back in a couple minutes.